considered walking away. Just when I considered taking a teensy tiny break until Wrestlepalooza. Just when I thought about saying, let's step back for a second. WWE knows exactly what to do to reel me right back in. The storytelling, the drama, the excitement, the twist. Raw is just giving me everything I need to keep me front and center every Monday night. While there's quite a bit going on Raw right now, let's jump right into my 3 favorite storylines that are keeping me glued to my TV. Starting with the Usos reunion. Maybe. For the first time in a minute, Raw saw the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, walking into the ring together, of course, yeeting through the audience. While they didn't enter to their theme song, they did use main event Jay Usos, and honestly, I'm not mad at that. We can all do it a little yeet session every now and then. Those two got back in the ring and delivered promos like they never left each other. There's just a certain type of magic that Jimmy and Jay have when they're together. Yes, they're good in ring individually. Yes, they're good on the mic individually. But together, it's like they feed off each other's energy. It's why people put them in the greatest tag team of all time categories. Because those boys know how to work together. They know each other's vibe. They know what the other person needs. It's got to be some sort of twin magic that they're just in each other's brain and they can just flow. Now, Wrestlepalooza will see the Usos versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and I am personally very excited. It's been a minute since we just saw Jimmy and Jay together. No Roman, no Sammy, no Solo, just the Usos. However, Raw didn't go exactly the way I thought it would. Jay ended up getting caught between a turnbuckle and Bronson Reed thanks to LA Knight, and even though it was an accident, Jay was having none of that. In turn, he wanted to leave LA Knight to fend for himself, regardless of that upcoming match he and Jimmy will have against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. And as he was talking to Jimmy, it's like the tribal chief jumped into Jay's body because that man really said either they gonna acknowledge us or we gonna smash them all. And I don't know about anybody else, but I personally am waiting for Wreck Everyone and Leave Roman to come back, mainly because I never got that shirt and I really want it badly. But Jimmy for sure called him on that. You're sounding a lot like Roman. What's up with that? Jimmy has been the only one of the original bloodline to not take on any of Roman's negative traits. He's been the only one that really tries to hold the family together. Both Solo and Jay have seemed to follow in Roman's footsteps. Jimmy, however, has stood 10 toes behind his actual family. In the end, Jay ended up coming out and saving both Jimmy and LA Knight from the Bronze, before giving LA Knight one of the best spears I've probably ever seen Jey Uso do, standing over him and saying, yeah, now we even. So what does this mean for Jey Uso? What does this mean for Jimmy Uso? Are we going to see Jimmy have to go through these same exact motions that he did while watching Roman descend into chaos? While watching Roman rise the ranks, but at what cost? It seems like Jay's main focus is on that title. It's on getting what he's lost. He's seen the promised land and he wants to go back. He saw his cousin reach those heights, but it cost Roman relationships. It cost Roman friendships. It turned Roman into even a bigger monster. And do we see Jay heading down that same path? I'm really excited about this because we've all been kind of wanting that hothead, crash out Jey Uso to come back. But I didn't want it at the expense of Jimmy because Jay, don't talk to Jimmy like that. Like, don't do that. It hurts my feelings. With War Games approaching, I think it's very clear that the Vision will be on one team and Jimmy, Jay, and Roman will be on the other. But what are we going to have to do to get the three of them to lock back in again? Will Jay end up costing them that Wrestlepalooza match? Will Jay end up taking some of his frustrations out on either Jimmy or Roman himself, who a lot of people would think deserve it? I'm really interested to see where this goes because what happens after War Games? Because both Jay and Roman have their eyes set on that World Heavyweight Championship. But only one of them is going to be able to take it off of Seth Rollins. So which one? And again, where does that leave Jimmy Uso? What will his role be in this renewed bloodline saga? I kid you not, every time you think that that story is done, that story has nothing left to be told, they have a swerve for it. Now, over on the women's side, there is a storm brewing between teammates Iyo Sky and Asuka. We all saw Asuka come back during the Queen of the Ring tournament, and of course, she had her eyes set on gold. Gold that her friend just so happened, gold that friend Iyo Sky just so happened to be carrying at the time. But it seems like that wasn't what got between them. While trying to help Iyo during the match, Kari and Asuka would end up costing Iyo said match, creating the start of the shift that we saw between them. As time has gone on, we've seen Asuka kind of want to alienate Iyo Sky from any allies she may have backstage, specifically when it comes to Rhea Ripley and Nikki Bella. Anytime Iyo is caught talking to someone that is not a part of Damage Control, which, are they still being called that, or no? What are we doing with that? Anyways, anytime Iyo is with someone who is not one of their group, Asuka comes up and pretty much runs that person off. She even ended up going head to head in a match against Nikki Bella this past Monday. I'm not surprised. You probably are, but I very much enjoyed that match. Nikki is really showing up and trying to prove that she belongs within this new realm of women, and I am loving every second of it. But Asuka is trying to keep Iyo divided. She even said to Rhea Ripley that she is the top woman, even though Iyo Sky is the one who will be competing for the Women's World Championship. So are you the top girl, or is it your friend? I think we all see what's coming, and that is, of course, a feud between Iyo Sky and Asuka with poor Kari stuck in the middle. The comedic part of this is hearing Asuka yell out Kari's name a million different ways every single Raw, and the way she just simply jumps and scatters. Man, I'm telling you, that girl is going through it trying to keep the peace with everyone, and it's just not happening. So if Iyo is to win the Women's World Championship again at Wrestlepalooza, could we possibly see Iyo Sky versus Asuka before the year is over with? As an honorable mention, I have to mention the Judgment Day storyline, which y'all know on this channel I have been begging for them to be separated, but it finally looks like we have some friction. There looks to be a little conflict. Current Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio has been spending a lot of time with El Grande Americano, especially with his matches down in AAA. El Grande is the one who's coming to Dom's rescue. Dom is even calling in favors for El Grande Americano. They seem to be very much buddy-buddy, and Finn and possibly the entirety of Judgment Day don't really seem to be a fan of that. On this past Monday, Dom seemed to be tired of the question and walked off, and it was Roxanne Perez who went after him to talk to him. This is giving me feelings of Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan all over again, and I can't help but think Raquel Rodriguez seems to think the same thing. So what's going on here? We all know that at some point, Liv will be healed, she will be back, and I am full on expecting to see Roxanne Perez versus Liv Morgan. But could we possibly be on the horizon of a Judgment Day breakup? Is it time? This one is an honorable mention simply because I am waiting for a certain moment, of course, and I'm just wanting to see how it plays out. They kind of have my attention right now, so let's see what they do with it. And finally, to no one's surprise, I must talk about Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins versus CM Punk and the returning AJ Lee. CM Punk and Seth Rollins have been feuding on and off for over the last 8 months, and it finally came to a head at Clash in Paris. With the rest of the Vision ejected from the arena, Becky Lynch was Seth Rollins' answer to retaining his World Heavyweight Championship. With a low blow to CM Punk at Clash in Paris and multiple slaps the next night at Raw, there was only one answer. There was only one call CM Punk could make, because how dare you put your hands on the husband of an icon. AJ Lee gave us her first promo back this past Monday on Raw, and it was absolutely everything I wanted it to be. Now, while we all do know the reference, I'm sorry that I'm your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler eats down so badly, because it's true. AJ got in that ring, owned it, to the point that we got therapy chants during Raw. Who else has that type of power but the iconic AJ Lee? Now, I mentioned in a video on TikTok that AJ Lee was a diva, and someone put that as a negative connotation. When I called her a diva, it's in the sense of she's that girl. She's the HBIC. she is the top woman, even though she just returned, because what other person is pulling in numbers the way AJ Lee did on a return? When I called her diva, it was very much Beyonce's diva, not any form of negative thing that y'all are putting towards the word diva now. Just to clarify. I've even seen a lot of people coming back into the fold just because they want to see AJ Lee back, and she's not going anywhere soon. It's being reported that she has signed a multi-year contract with WWE, so this is a full-on AJ Lee return. We're getting a run, and truthfully, I can't wait to see it. This tag match is the perfect way to get AJ Lee back into the ring because she not only has her husband in CM Punk, but she's also going against two very safe, very technical wrestlers like Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Because if you think that Seth Rollins might not get caught in that Black Widow too, you're absolutely insane. When it comes to the future, I'm just very excited to see AJ get all of the opportunities that she fought for and never got. Just think about this for a minute. AJ Lee in Royal Rumble, AJ Lee in Queen of the Ring, AJ Lee in Elimination Chamber, AJ Lee in a Hell in a Cell match, AJ Lee in any form of extreme match you can think of, just AJ Lee in a match. I already went through my list of favorites from Naomi to Bianca to Charlotte Flair, Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez. There is so much opportunity for AJ Lee right now that I'm very excited. This feud is just reigniting that love for me. It's making me want to stay. It's making me want to tune in. We just got to get SmackDown together now. But this is what I've been needing from WWE. I needed storylines that made me go, cracks showing in even the closest of families, and a record-shattering return that no one could have expected. Raw is reminding me right now why storytelling is such an important aspect of wrestling for me. I know that some people can just have the graps, but me, I need the graps and the story. And the absolute best part of this all is, this is only the beginning. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it, subscribe to my channel, and turn on post notifications so that you're notified every time I post. Until the last bell rings, bye guys.